This is Ganesh. Today we will be discussing about the various methods of presentation of data. Before going to the various methods of presentation of data, let me tell you what is data. Data is the numerical facts and figures. It is the quantitative information that we collect for any purpose. So, these numerical facts and figures or that quantitative information what is collected is in its raw form that has to be classified and analyzed and presented. Then people can draw inferences from that. People can understand that information, what you want to say from that data. So, here after collecting the data, we have to analyze it, we have to classify it, and then we have to present that data in a proper format. So, what are the different methods of presentation of data? Here I will be discussing about three methods of presentation of data. One is your tabular presentation, other is your diagrammatic presentation, and the third one is your graphical presentation. So, these three methods are very important methods and the information can be presented in different forms, that is through tables, through diagrams and through graphs. You must be having a doubt why the data is presented in tables, diagrams or graphs. What is the use of that? What is the advantage of that? You see, when we present the data in these different methods, the main advantage is, the main objective is to present the huge data or mass data whatever is collected in a very precise way, in a presentable way and understandable way. That is why what we do with the data whatever is collected, the information whatever is presented through tables, diagrams and graphs. And again when this data is presented through these methods, even a layman means any person without any knowledge of statistics, without any knowledge of this information, can also understand the information and can draw conclusions. For example, I would like to tell you, when you go to the railway station, you can see the railway timetable. That timetable is presented in the form of table. There, the first column you can see train number, then you can see from where to where you to go, then you can see what is the timing, then you can see what is the fare, what is the distance. So many things you can understand. You want to go to a particular place, you can find which train is available, at what time it is available, okay, all these things. So, these tables, diagrams and graphs are very important in statistics. We present the data in these methods so that we can present the data, we can make the people understand about the information. Even the people, those who are not having any knowledge, can understand the information. Here in this video, I will be explaining you about the tabular presentation. In my next videos, I will be explaining you about diagrammatic presentation and graphical presentation. So let us start with tabular presentation. What is tabular presentation? When the data, the information, whatever we have collected, the quantitative information is presented in tables, is presented through tables, then that is called tabular presentation. Then what are these tables? These tables will contain rows and columns. Rows and columns, okay. Then what are these rows and what are these columns? The lines what is drawn from top to bottom, from north to south, are called the columns, and the lines which are drawn from left to right are called rows. Then why this data is presented in tables? The purpose is very clear. The data is presented to tables to make the data simplified, to make the data understandable. Again, a lot of information can be presented in less space, and that information can also be presented in an attractive manner. So I was talking about rows and columns. So the row heading is called stub, that is called stubs, and column headings are called captions. So data is presented in tables. Tables will contain rows and columns. The row heading is called stubs and the column headings are called captions. Now let us discuss about the objectives of tabulation. Here I have mentioned 5 objectives of tabulation. The first one is to simplify the complex data. The data what you have collected may be complex. It is not understandable by anybody. What we have to do is we have to simplify that data so that everybody can understand. That requires classification of the data and proper presentation of the data. So when we are classifying that data and when we are presenting the data through tables, everybody will be able to understand it. Even people with less knowledge of statistics can understand what is the purpose of that table and what information is being depicted by that table. So the first objective of tabulation is to simplify the complex data, to remove the complexities and to make the data simple and understandable. When we come to the second point, that is what? To economize space. To economize space means in less space we can present huge data, lot of information. That is what is called economize space. You can see in small table lot of information of suppose many years or a huge data is presented in a small table. So that is what is called to economize space. When we come to the third point, that is to facilitate comparison. These tables always help you in comparing the data. When we say comparison, comparison is always done between two things. So that may be between two periods of time, that may be between two things, that may be between the prices of two commodities. In this way, we can compare the data. As I was talking to you about the railway timetable, there you can see different trains will be available. Passenger train is available, that how much time that is taking. Express train is also available, how much time that is taking. Superfast is also available, how much time that is taking. You can compare from that table itself and you can decide through which train you want to travel. Okay. Then the fourth point is to facilitate statistical analysis. To facilitate statistical analysis, when I say statistical analysis is the phase between classification and presentation of data. You have classified the data, then you are going to present the data, and analysis, statistical analysis is coming between your classification and presentation. So when you present the data in proper form, that will help you in various measures, using various statistical measures like averages, dispersion, correlation, etc. These things can be calculated easily from the data which is systematically presented. Then the fifth point is to provide reference. Every table will contain table number. It will also contain the title. So with the use of table number or by using the title of the table, we can easily refer which table we want to discuss, which table we want to analyze, which table we want to understand. Now let us come to the requisites or essentials of a good table. A good table should have certain characteristics that are what I have mentioned here. The first thing is title. Every table must contain a suitable title. That title must also be appealing and attractive. When people see the title, they must themselves be attracted towards that table. That is what is called appealing and attractive title. The second point is manageable size. The table should be neither too big nor too small. proper size should be given to that table. The rows and columns should also be properly sized, and the information should be properly presented. The size of the table should be according to the objectives and characteristics of the data. What we want to discuss, what we want to present. Depending upon that, the size of the table should be decided. The third point is attractive. The table should be attractive and appealing to the eyes of the people. Then only people will come and see what information is given in that title. So, the colors and the presentation, the columns, the font, everything should be attractive so that the reader may be attracted towards the table and they will not find any difficulty in understanding what is given there. The fourth point I have mentioned here is special emphasis. Emphasis means importance. Then the data which are to be compared should be placed on the left hand side. Left hand side means what? What is the first column? That is the caption. Okay, caption headings will be there. And again, all the rest of the columns and rows should also be properly presented. The subheadings should be properly written. The caption heading should be properly written. And that is what we have to see. That will make the table attractive and purposeful. The fifth point I have mentioned here is suit the purpose. The table should be according to the objective of statistical investigation. For what purpose you are preparing the table? All the captions, all the steps should be relevant to the purpose. The sixth point I have mentioned here is simplicity. The table should be simple and compact so that everybody can understand. You don't expect that all the people, those who are having knowledge of statistics and who are having knowledge of mathematics will come and see your table. People do not know anything, do not know to read and write will also come and see your table. They should be able to understand what is given there. So that is called your simplicity. Then when we come to the seventh point, that is comparison of data. The data which is to be compared should be placed closely in the columns. When the columns should be arranged in such a way that the data can be easily compared. Then the eighth point here is rows and columns should be numbered. If number of columns and number of rows are too many, then we need to number the rows and columns. If rows and columns are very less, then that is it's not required. But if you number the rows and columns, it will be easy to refer. Row number 1, okay, column number 10, you can refer that. The ninth point that I mentioned here is clarity. A table should be prepared in such a way that even the layman can draw inferences from the table. That is, a layman can also understand what is presented in the table, what information is presented, and he should be able to draw inferences from that. He should be able to understand that. And again, the rows and columns should be self-explanatory. The headings which are given, that is captions and your steps, should be very clear and they should be easy. The 10th point that I mentioned here is scientifically prepared. The table should be prepared in a systematic and logical manner, and it should be free from all sorts of overlapping and ambiguities. There should not be any overlappings and there should not be any confusions. By teeing the table, people should not get confused, and same thing should not be repeated again. This is what we have to take care of. So these are some requisites of a good table. If all these conditions are properly followed, we can make the table more presentable, more attractive and more appealing.